This ceremony marks the successful completion of a long journey in this region to eradicate polio. It also marks one of the biggest public health achievements.
India's determination to achieve the impossible, to go from the world's heaviest burden of polio cases to zero. When you look at it against these challenges, India's achievement is truly an epic success story, a proof that any country that really wants to can defeat polio. India has shown the world that there is no such thing as impossible. This is likely the greatest lesson and the greatest inspiration for the rest of the world. India's leadership in polio eradication is widely appreciated and warmly welcomed, especially by the 194 countries in WHO.
Oh gosh, Nancy, you're still here?
You know, sir, I was watching a video and I need to talk to you about it. India is polio-free now. I want to do a story about it. Before 2009, India had registered nearly half of the world's polio cases, and thus it is a huge achievement. What do you think?
I think it's a very good idea, Nancy. So you go ahead and I'll make all the arrangements.
Let me introduce myself to a country where unity in diversity is a way of life. Namaste, India. My name is Nancy, a journalist from Sweden, and this is Sumit, my assistant. I have come here to learn how India has successfully eradicated polio. Be a part of our journey, which is expected to be an inspiring one. After a warm welcome in the capital city of Delhi, we head to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to meet Mrs. Anuradha Gupta.
In India, there was a time when we used to have 200,000 cases a year. Okay. So clearly more than 200,000 children were getting crippled by polio. And that was around 78, 79, 1978. So when we started out in 1995, we realized it was a massive mammoth task in a country which is so large, where the annual birth cohort was so large. And therefore clearly we innovated a lot. We new strategies. How do you track children everywhere? How do you reach those populations which were so resistant? And with the result that in 2009, though a number of polio cases annually had come down from 50,000 to 741, we still had the world's highest polio burden, and the polio incidence in India was the largest globally, and we also accounted for half of the global polio cases. So clearly our next challenge was, how do we reach a position of zero polio in this country? And that didn't seem easy at all, because there were experts now who had started to believe that India would not be able to stop polio at all.
WHO has been a lead technical partner to the government in this whole endeavor. So there has been a very tight connection and coordination happening between the WHO and the government at all levels. Mm-hmm. In fact, in 1997, the special project has been set up, collaborative project between the government and WHO, National Polio Surveillance Project, which was established to actually help government at all levels, district, state and union level, to do a proper surveillance of the polio cases, but also to help in mass vaccination campaigns.
Surveillance played a major role in the success that India has achieved in polio eradication. The surveillance helped to understand what kind of polio viruses were circulating and the areas in which they were circulating, the populations that were getting affected by the polio viruses. It also helped to measure the progress in terms of where we were in the journey to polio eradication. And also it helped to design tailored strategies that were targeted to the high-risk populations that were identified through the surveillance system. So the way the surveillance system is set up in India is that all the recently paralyzed children are investigated. Each case of acute flaccid paralysis that gets reported through the system is promptly investigated. This investigation happens usually within 48 hours of its notification to the system. The surveillance system in India had the support of the WHO's National Polio Surveillance Project, which is a project that was established in 1997 and currently has more than 350 surveillance medical officers that are engaged with the sensitization and training of these reporting sites. They make active surveillance visits to these 40,000 reporting sites. There is also a system of providing feedback to these reporting sites, because if people report, they want to know what happened to these cases, and that in itself is a motivation for further reporting these, so that's how this system is set up with these 40,000 health facilities.
Dr. Behel explained how surveillance is carried out in India. He told us that in addition to surveillance for cases of paralysis, sewage samples are also collected from 23 sites every week across 6 states. These sewage samples also supplement the efforts in detection of polio. He told us that even sewage samples have not shown any wild polio viruses in the last 3 years, thus giving the Indian program the confidence that polio has indeed gone from India. We understood that stool and sewage sampling is an important part of surveillance for polio. These samples are collected and sent to the laboratories for polio virus detection.
The stool sample is received in the laboratory. The stool sample is checked for leakage, breakage, cold chain, and is accepted as a good sample for processing for virus isolation. Microscopy is done for 5 days. In this laboratory, we use real-time PCR technique to identify whether the stool sample contained poliovirus type 1, type 2 or poliovirus type 3, or it contained non-polio enteroviruses. The test further differentiates the viruses into wild-type virus or a strain related to the Sabin oral polio vaccine. Further testing of Sabin vaccine-related strains is done to identify whether the isolate is a vaccine-derived poliovirus. For this purpose, we use genetic sequencing as our gold standard test. The 16 laboratories in Southeast Asia region have incorporated internal quality control tests to ensure that results are accurate, timely, and reported correctly to the program. The WHO has supported the quality assurance program in the network laboratories through training workshops that are carried out at the Global Specialized Polio Laboratory in Mumbai every year. The laboratories are visited by experts to observe all the processes that are done for testing stool specimens, and every year each of the laboratory is provided an accreditation certification.
And then, all the data from the field and laboratories is collated and analyzed to understand the spread of the polio virus. An important component of the analysis is to identify the populations at high risk and whether the eradication efforts are on the right track. Let's hurry, else we'll miss the train. After an informative interaction with WHO officials to understand the various strategies recommended by WHO, we start our journey in the state of Uttar Pradesh. We start from Moradabad, where the maximum number of polio cases used to be registered. As we stepped out of the train at Moradabad, I saw vaccinators at the station, vaccinating children up to 5 years of age. Out of curiosity, I asked the vaccinator about the 2 drops of polio vaccine and the mark that they put on the little finger of the left hand of children. The vaccinator explained that this is a standard procedure followed for vaccinating and identifying the vaccinated kids. It was amazing to see that the vaccinators were not only inside the station but also outside to find children who might have been missed so that they could be vaccinated. We learned that the program faced many challenges in the past in Uttar Pradesh, one of the 2 historic polio reservoirs in India. These include refusal by certain communities to get their children vaccinated against polio. Innovative strategies were launched for mobilizing these communities. I spoke with Dr. Ashish, a surveillance medical officer working with WHO in Uttar Pradesh, to throw more light on the subject.
WHO, along with UNICEF and other mobilization partners, we identified certain group of people who have influence in the community. Especially we included religious leaders, ration dealers, kotedars, and educational communities leaders who have influence in the community, and they support our program.
Can we meet some of these influential people?
Yeah, if you wish, we could go to our Shahar Imam.
आज पोलियो रविवार है। 5 साल से कम उम्र के बच्चों को लेकर पोलियो बूथ पर वक्त पर पहुंच जाइए।
Hands up, so how have you as a religious leader contributed to eradicating polio?
देखिए हम लोगों ने वैक्सीन पिलाने का काम किया, साथ में लोगों को
We supported the polio vaccination campaigns. We informed the people that the polio vaccine has no side effects. But a child once affected cannot be cured. So it is your responsibility to get polio vaccines for your children for good health and a better life.
सही स्वास्थ्य देने के लिए उनका काम है।
Rotary's role can be categorized in 3 broad ways. The first category would include advocacy, political advocacy, advocacy with bureaucrats, and advocacy with religious leaders. The second broad category would be social mobilization, that is to get parents to bring their children to the booths. And the third would be help during operations.
How do we keep our children healthy and care about their health? Polio is a disease which cannot be cured. Many health organizations are extensively working on this issue. And it's now our responsibility to get our children up to 5 years of age vaccinated against polio.
तो हर शख्स को चाहिए कि अपने 0 साल से लेकर 5 साल के बच्चों को पोलियो की दवाएं जरूर पिलाएं।
This marks the end of my physical, educational, emotional, and inspiring journey to the polio-free land of India. Thank you for being a part of this journey.
सिरी हेलमेट पहनो।
चलो ना।
हेलमेट पहनने के लिए बोला ना।
मेरा बाल खराब हो जाएगा। परवाह नहीं, आप चलो ना।
अरे हेलमेट पहनी तो बच गई।
अपनी जिंदगी को खतरे में न डालें, कृपया हेलमेट पहने।
हेलमेट पहनेंगे? हाँ लाइट ले लो भाई। बिना हेलमेट के बहुत रिस्क है और फाइन भी भरना पड़ेगा। हाँ मुझे पता है किधर से जाना है कैसे जाना है। बैठा भैया बैठा।
बाय
बाय। अरे पकड़ा गया रे।
आप बगैर हेलमेट के गाड़ी चला रहे हैं इसलिए आपको चालान बना।
सर हमारा घर इधर ही है सर।
रोड पर आने के बाद मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट के हिसाब से हेलमेट पहनना जरूरी है।
मैं बोला ना। हेलमेट पहनेंगे? लाइट ले लो भैया।
हेलमेट के बिना मुझे बहुत डर लगता है, मुझे पहनने दो।
10 मिनट का रास्ता है, चलो।
बाय
बाय।
भैया भैया मेरे भाई को मैं खुद ही मारा।
खुद भी हेलमेट पहनिए और दूसरों को भी हेलमेट पहनने के लिए बोलिए। हेलमेट आपको खतरनाक चोट और मौत से बचाता है।
बाकी सभी तो निकल रहे हैं, निकाल ले यार, मैच निकल रहा है।
मैच के चक्कर में खुद रन आउट हो गए तो सब्र रखना आदत है मेरी।
भाई अच्छी आदत है। मेन स्विच पे डाउन, उठा दे यार उसे। अब क्या ढूंढ रहा है?
चप्पल।
अरे भाई हाथ से करना है, पैर से नहीं।
सुरक्षा का ख्याल रखना आदत है मेरी।
तेरी आदत की तो फट। अच्छी आदत है। इंडिया जीत गई। अबे जाके देखना फूटा क्यों नहीं।
अबे एक पटाखे के चक्कर में रिस्क। बीवी बच्चों वाला हूँ यार, सावधानी बरतना आदत है मेरी।
आदत अच्छी आदत है। और
भाई साहब एक पैकेट कॉन्डोम देना।
भाई यहाँ पे सेटिंग हो गई।
सेटिंग नहीं, सीट कंफर्म हो गई है। जा रहा हूँ तेरी भाभी के पास।
अच्छा।
और वैसे भी कॉन्डोम हमें HIV एड्स यौन संक्रमण के साथ अनचाहे गर्भ से भी तो सुरक्षा देता है, इसीलिए कॉन्डोम हर बार
एक अच्छी आदत है।
रुक मुझे आने दे, फिर शुरू करते हैं।
एक बार से कुछ नहीं होता।
होने को ना एक ही बार काफी है। सुरक्षा का ख्याल रखना आदत है मेरी।
गिरा गिरा गिरा, अच्छी आदत है। चल चल जल्दी कर, 5 मिनट का तो काम है यार। एक बार हेलमेट नहीं पहना तो क्या आफत आ जाएगी।
अगर आ गई तो आदत है यार।
आदत आदत।
देखा, बोला था ना
अच्छी आदत है। अरे देखना कितना मजेदार वीडियो है।
हमें रहने दे, ऐसा मजा ना सजा भी बन सकता है। संभल कर चलने की आदत ही भली।
तू और तेरी आदत।
यार बोला था ना संभल कर चलना।
अच्छी आदत है। कॉन्डोम देना प्लीज। शुक्रिया। मैं और कहीं भले रिस्क ले लेता हूं पर अपनी जान के साथ कभी नहीं, क्योंकि एक बार भी चूके तो HIV एड्स, यौन संक्रमण या अनचाहा गर्भ कुछ भी हो सकता है। इसलिए कॉन्डोम हर बार
एक अच्छी आदत।
जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, हम देंगे साथ तेरा वादा रहा। वफादारी की वो रस्में निभाए हम सारी कसमें, एक भी सांस जिंदगी की जब तक हो अपने बस में। जब कोई बात
अब ईएसआईसी का विश्वास और भी ज्यादा लोगों के पास, बेहतर सेवाओं और सुविधाओं के भरोसे के साथ। यही तो है ईएसआईसी 2.0।
छूले आसमां इस जमीन से उठकर, सपनों के शहर में हो तेरा भी एक घर, हो आसान उस घर तक पहुंचने की डगर, प्यारी सी इन दुआओं का ऐसा हो असर, सेहत और खुशियों से भरा हो जीवन सफर, बचपन में इंद्रधनुष के रंग खुल जाए अगर
2 साल की उम्र तक अपने बच्चे का संपूर्ण टीकाकरण जरूर कराइए, ताकि उसे मिल सके कई जानलेवा बीमारियों से सुरक्षा और उसकी जिंदगी में रहे सेहत की सरगम।
मिशन इंद्रधनुष, सेहत के साथ रंग।
गाइस, आप लोग ने कल का टीवी शो देखा?
हाँ देखा। हजारों लड़कियां जन्म ही नहीं ले पाती सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि सबको बेटा चाहिए।
हमें लोगों की सोच बदलनी होगी
और इसका जिम्मा हम युवा पीढ़ी को भी लेना होगा।
अब हमें भी कुछ करना होगा।
हाँ, हमें भी कुछ करना होगा।
युवा धड़कन की गूंज फैलाए चारों ओर, लड़की लड़के का अंतर अब हम चाहे नो मोर, बदले सोच नजरिया बदले मिलाए वक्त से ताल, अंतर करने वालों से पूछे बस एक सवाल, लड़का ही क्यों लड़की क्यों नहीं।
लिंग भेद का समाधान हो सकता है, इसके लिए जरूरत है आपकी भागीदारी की। आइए साथ मिलकर आगे बढ़ें।
लड़का ही क्यों।
राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण स्वास्थ्य मिशन द्वारा प्रायोजित।
यस पापा, ये देखो मुझे अमेरिका जाने की फुल स्कॉलरशिप मिल गई। यस
सच?
अरे ये क्या, आपकी आंखों में आंसू?
काफी दिनों से तुम्हें एक बात बतानी थी। आई एम सॉरी बेटी।
सॉरी किस लिए पापा?
आज मुझे बोलने दो। बेटी, दरअसल दूसरी बेटी मैं बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता था, बहुत दबाव था। एक पल के लिए तो मैं भी बातों में आ गया, मगर मुझे खुशी है मैंने कोई गलत कदम नहीं उठाया। आई एम सॉरी बेटी, मुझे माफ कर दो।
काश ऐसे ही हर माँ बाप दबाव में न आए तो लाखों लड़कियां जन्म ले सकती हैं।
राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण स्वास्थ्य मिशन द्वारा प्रायोजित।
ICSI has been scripting new success stories, registering new altitudes of growth. It is shaping a new corporate India and setting the most competent corporate standards. ICSI has been partnering the visionary initiatives of the Government of India with a willingness to achieve the desired outcomes in terms of socio-economic growth of the country.